Well, let's get going then. Hope everybody's day's going well and all that. I'm in the Institute. Taking their duct tape. Undamaged camera. What was I supposed to do with this? We do that before. Where is it? Got it? Okay. There we go.
Hello.
Hello.
I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under
That's
my
unfortunate.
guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator.
Institutionalized.
I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future.
Iffy.
It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Yes, where is my son?
Shaun?
Huh? Yes, I'm Shaun.
Shaun? Oh my god. It's really you.
Who are you?
Shaun.
Dad.
It's me. I'm your dad.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Those bastards, they took you from me.
What's going on? Father? Father!
Shh, shh. It'll be okay, Shaun. I'm here
I
now.
don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here, help me!
Shaun, please. Calm down. I'll get you out of there.
Father? Father, help me! He's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Shaun,
S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your
I
journey
think I saw a
here has been
playthrough once
fraught
where some
with
guy
challenges.
just immediately killed him the
Let's
moment he
start
walked through
anew.
the door.
I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Give me Shaun. The real Shaun. Right now!
I know. I know. You've gone to such lengths to find him.
I want answers, asshole. Now.
Under the circumstances, I will forgive your vulgarity. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me. I am Shaun. I am your son.
How is that even possible?
I know this is a lot to take in. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality. And here I am, raised by the Institute, and now it's leaving.
Yeah, I did not see that coming the first time I did this game.
Hell of a story. But I guess it does make sense.
I'm glad you're willing to accept the truth. It's quite encouraging. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
Like, his one part of his jaw here is moving more than normal.
So the weird science experiments needed specimens. That's why they took you.
In a manner of speaking, yes. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111.
Well,
An infant
better than being cancer, I
frozen
can
in
tell you that
time,
from experience.
protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human
Good to hear it's
cell in the common.
nothing bad.
I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
And you've been down here the whole time?
I have. Yes. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Kellogg, he worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
I don't expect you to understand or agree with the decision.
'Cause I'm not in my
The Institute
whatchamacallit
took
here.
advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Your mother. She never got to see you grow up?
Yes. What happened to her was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
Shaun, she loved you so much.
I have no doubt. I'm afraid I have very little experience with those emotions, having lived my life within the Institute. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But
If I was decided to
what
play
matters
a
now
female
is that
character, I
you
would have been
and
dead
I
instead.
have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
They're scared of you, Shaun. Scared of the Institute.
People are always frightened by what they don't understand. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss. But the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
Yes, that's what I want.
Sure.
I know you've been through so much. I'm pleased to see it has not impaired your judgment. Forgive me. I'd assume that after everything I'm sure you've seen above ground, you would be more than a bit biased against us. There is much to be done. You'll need time to acclimate yourself, a chance to become acquainted with our procedures.
Is all that really necessary? What's there to learn?
For now, it is enough that you understand that the Institute really is devoted to the betterment of humanity. The Institute is now your home, as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in Facilities, Dr. Ayo in SRB, Dr. Holdren in Bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems.
Dr.
They've all
Lee
been
was in
notified
Fallout
of
3.
your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
Was it? They have to find the one thing for what's his name. That job on anymore. Eh. I think if I remember right, if you go through the stuff on this terminal, it says he's the one that, like, pulsed your cryo tube to wake you up to get you out.
Almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned, the phase-out on these older models can't come soon enough.
Oh, I don't know. Most of them have lasted long past their projected lifespans. If you ask me, they were built pretty well.
I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out.
There we go. All set. Unit, you can return to duty.
Thanks again.
Excuse me, Doctor.
They weren't kidding. You really are here.
Who are you,
Well,
lady?
all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the facilities division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery.
I love the
behind these
Vitruvian man
walls
kind of
that
symbol for their
recycles the
thing
air
there.
and water, and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
Absolutely.
Oh, good to hear. It'll be a load off Shaun's mind. Take your time. Get yourself acquainted. There's a lot to take in. Plenty of things you won't find topside. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the facilities division, I'm happy to discuss it.
It must be a challenge to meet the power demands of a place like this.
Absolutely. We scratch and scrape for every precious ounce of voltage that we can. Over the years, we've learned a few tricks that help supplement our power budget. When necessary, we can tap into select sources on the surface. We take only what we need, of course. Fortunately, Advanced Systems is always working on new solutions to generate more energy. It's a good thing, too, because the demand is always increasing. You don't even want to know what a single use of the molecular dematerializer consumes.
I can only imagine.
Greetings. As the Institute's requisition vendor, I can provide supplies for your missions on the surface. How may I assist you today?
I'll take a look, sure.
What you got? Experiment 18A. Good helmet. A really good helmet.
Remember to keep unnecessary power consumption to a minimum. Don't recharge unless your primary levels are below 2%. Also, if you haven't patched your navigation software, do so after this meeting. The last thing we need is more synths bumping into walls. All right, that's all for now.
Look like a couch to me.
Resume your duties. Power demand jumped another 5% this year.
Hey, Doc.
It's a real juggling act, trying to keep all the systems down here operating in the green. This place might look shiny and new, but there's a lot of old technology in these walls. I lose sleep worrying about when the next blackout's gonna hit.
How old are we talking about?
Well, the reactor and a lot of the related systems. You know, cooling, monitoring, power distribution. That's all pre-war tech. Most of the superstructure down here was built later, when the people who survived the war. I guess each generation's been tinkering with the place, adding labs, making upgrades, and so on. There's some stuff I need to check on. See you around, yeah?
Okay, Enrico. Robotics.
We're all looking forward to working with you.
You're here. I'm glad you made it. If it were just a limb twitching, voluntary twitching and rapid eye you just look like if you're about to log into one of your it's about artificial synthesis don't bother. I've heard enough of them.
Yeah, this is when making a synth. Kind of cool to process.
Why can't it have a soul? And if the synth has a soul, then it is a living person by every standard. Of course it is far more comfortable to think of it as a machine, so we can do what we want with it. If you disapprove of the work we do here, you should be trying to open everyone's eyes to new possibilities. Well, it's an unwanted distraction. We're men of science, philosophers. Do well to remember that.
Welcome to the Institute. Please step right this way.
With our third generation since, we've improved upon it.
All this must be a little overwhelming for you.
Water, something injected into it. And boiled. One guy to talk to in here.
The bombs fell.
Hi, Doc.
Ah, it seems you're finally with us. I'd just like to apologize for any trouble our synths may have caused for you on your way here. They, of course, couldn't be told of your identity, and they have very specific protocols for protecting themselves and Institute interests, most of which I designed myself. Not to make problems for you, though. Will you be staying with us, then?
And
Of course.
Ah, good. Shaun is most pleased, I'm sure. He's been quite anxious to have you with us. If you require anything, especially as it pertains to synths, please let me know.
You wouldn't happen to have a spare polarizer on you, would you?
if you ever need aluminum, the place is full of aluminum. That is spring in it. Aluminum. Aluminum, aluminum, aluminum.
You smell like you've been above ground.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I've increased synth responsiveness by 0.04%.
I can't imagine living on the surface. Sounds like a nightmare.
The Institute, for all your aluminum needs.
Scanning. Subject identified.
Where does this take me? Yep, I remember that place too. A fire hazard, guys. There's a bobblehead in that place too, if I remember right.
I wish Quinton would stop telling those stupid stories.
Best part of my day is coming home to my girls.
There are actually people's houses in here. Inaccessible. Second try for Kitty. Gonna be a little more agreeable to stay on camera for a bit for the people. People want to see you. Look at the people. Look at them. Ow. Really like to dig into me with your claws when you do that. You know that?
It's an honor to have you here, sir.
Jump on this. Jump for it. Jump. He doesn't want to play right now. Want to chew on my things.
True Food Supplement 77 has been discontinued?
That is correct.
That was my favorite one. Can't we keep it a little longer?
I will be happy to forward your request to the Bioscience Division. In the meantime, please feel free to enjoy one of our other nutritious and flavorful food supplements.
No, not Food Supplement 77.
I am sorry, sir.
Why Food Supplement 77?
Useless machine.
Vent systems. Ah! Batted out of my hand. Jump for it, Elsa. Jump for it. No, you want to jump for it. Jump. Jump. Jump, you lazy cat.
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
I want the fuse cell.
Well, that was productive.
That semi driving by just come across because my windows are open.
Excuse me, doctor?
Ah, it's you. You're here then. Yes, I know who you are. We all do. While I'm sure Father is very happy that you're here, I do hope it doesn't interrupt our work.
Won't get in your way.
Don't worry. I promise I won't get in your way.
Thank you, I do appreciate that. Oh, before I forget, let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install a courser chip in it for you. Father's orders. You're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sure that'll come in handy.
Given that the relay is the only way to access
Dark
the
Red
Institute,
got the first.
Handy is something of an understatement. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust Father has placed in you.
Well, luckily in this
unless
playthrough,
there's
it's
something
not
else,
misplaced.
I really do need to get back to work.
Ow.
Tell me about the people in your division.
I'm not sure what there is to say. Dr. Watson is the Specialist Project's lead scientist. He's, how to put it, very organized and precise. Dr. Ormond is one of the youngest scientists in the Institute, and she's something of a prodigy when it comes to physics.
Game's back on. Yeah, she's in Fallout 3, if you haven't played that one.
visible reaction to the K-14 compound. We'll start the next trial then. The dosage will be much larger this time, and the side effects will likely be more pronounced.
Will there be any pain?
I honestly don't know. I suppose it's your...
You know the protocol, sir. Authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in his office, does he? Well, you can tell him that I intend to speak to Father about these unannounced security sweeps of yours. Ransacking my quarters in the middle of the night is totally unacceptable.
I'll pass along your message, Doctor.
See that you do.
Welcome to the Institute, sir.
SRB. Whatever that means.
Heading over to robotics to knock some heads together.
Oh, those were synth experiments, so
targeting package upgrades.
Always be vigilant.
Maybe I should take
We
some
have
courses
many
with
enemies.
me. Send a message.
Please don't. There's enough friction as it is between us and pretty much all the other departments.
You going soft on me, Alana? My methods get results, and they will this time as well. You'll see. If the robotics division was a little more careful, we wouldn't have
Hey,
synths
Justin.
trying to escape.
How you doing?
Doctor. So, here you are. Justin Ayo, Acting Director of the Synth Retention Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity. I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issues, will there?
Why? Don't you trust me?
I'll be honest. You're an outsider. The first outsider to be allowed access to the Institute in quite a long time, in fact. There's little precedent for this situation, so it's only natural to take extra precautions.
Totally reasonable.
It's nothing personal, I assure you. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the Synth Retention Bureau. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
If the synths want to be free, you should let them.
Synths do not want. They might look like human beings, but they're machines. As to why they're escaping? That matter is currently under investigation. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our Coursers are relentless. But I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
Psychic, crazy lady, the high on drugs.
I guess I just got lucky.
That's hardly helpful. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have enough problems. Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
I'd like to know more about
Jeez,
the
Ark,
synth
that scared
reclamation
me.
process.
How's it going?
Once a Courser has located a rogue synth, it uses that synth's recall code to wipe its memories and render it inert. We then begin the delicate process of restoring the neural pathways to their original configuration. In those cases where the procedure is successful,
I'm pretty sure
the
this
synth
is
returns
your
to
ID.
duty with no memory of its time on the surface.
Well,
All
I
too
found
often
this
we're
ID
unable to repair the
in
damage
this
and are
wallet,
forced to
and if that's the
dispose of
case,
unit.
it must be your wallet. Sounds good to me.
Oh, I'm over and
Then
covered.
take it. It's not my wallet.
I have so many deep-pocketed things. If I have anything else equipped, I have no movement.
Like any machine, a synth can malfunction. Just wish it didn't happen so often.
Take all your stuff. the next area.
Greetings, sir.
It's not your wallet. I don't know, honestly. There's only a couple ways I know to have followers stop following you. Preston Garvey, if you join the Raiders in the expansion, will quit. You can't work with them. Then, Deacon... Paladin Dance and the guy from the Institute, if you go far enough where you can't work with them anymore, they will stop following you. Like, if you go too far where you betray the faction, they'll stop following you. Become hostile.
Yes.
I checked if I was alone when doing that. Huh. I don't know, I never did the Nuka World DLC, so I don't know.
Sweet.
Oh, this is the load zone.
Nice.
The radiation scrubber doesn't work. If I get it, screw up.
Negative sensor read. Weapon.
Hey.
Sensor alert. Anomaly detected. Resetting threat level.
Legendary Assaultron. Why wouldn't it be a legendary Assaultron?
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Nuka World, though. Damn. Why can't I move right? Jeez. That was close. Wow. Pants enhanced rolling pin. What a weapon. Yeah, I will do Nuka World this playthrough, though. One of the things I want to do is, finish the achievements I never got. Albeit there's one achievement I'm probably not going to be able to get this, playthrough. For which one it is. Because there's one achievement for beating it with the railroad, and, yeah, I'm not doing that one, so.
Yes.
Tech Institute one. Interesting. Oh, not what I thought I had equipped. God, I love how fast Righteous Authority fills my crit meter. Just insta-broke. I might do that.
Got it.
Yeah, let's just not think about what's happening here.
Sweet.
Super mutant. Okay. I remember where I'm supposed to find Virgil's thing in here. Bats. That actually eliminated a lot. Match.
That's it.
There we go. Oh, I've already said he's a multiple times that he's a synth. Super mutants and test tubes. Thing I'm supposed to get for him? I think it is. We'll find out. Do-do-do-do. Doctors here looks like they have a psycho problem.
Not yet. I've been reviewing Father's plans to expand our operations at Warwick. He's eager to get that going, so I've had to put everything else to one side.
I wonder how the Warwick family is doing.
Hydroponics.
Young Wally must be close to 10 years old by now. It's remarkable that any child can survive for so long up there, don't you think?
I try not to think too much about it. We have more than enough to occupy ourselves here.
Dr. Watson can be a little obsessive when it comes to rules and policies.
It's best not to dwell on the subject.
They're still people, and they're suffering. We can at least admit that it's regrettable. After all, how can we hope to redefine mankind if we can't even hold on to our own humanity?
Well, that's a question best left to our colleagues in the robotics division.
Yes, well...
Dr. Holdren's
Synthetic
gorilla
gorillas
project is showing promising results.
Dr. Carlin's doing some amazing things with our genetically engineered crops.
Favorite vault? I don't know in this one.
Welcome. So good to have you here. Dr. Clayton Holdren, head of the Bioscience Division. I can't wait for you to see the work we're doing. It's truly amazing.
Interesting.
I look forward to learning more about it.
In that case, let me give you a brief overview of what we do here. As the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of study such as botany, genetics, and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and well-being of everyone in the Institute. To that end, we cultivate highly specialized breeds of flora for use in food and medicine. We've even started to explore the idea of synthetic animal life. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point, but the potential is exciting nonetheless.
That's amazing.
Seems like there's nothing you guys can't do.
With hard work and ingenuity, any challenge can be overcome. I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is. But I have to ask, have you decided whether you'll join us?
I'd like to.
I'm not sure how well I'll fit in, but I'd like to give it a try.
Great. I was hoping you'd say that. In any case, I imagine you'll want to continue looking around. Or, if you prefer, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Synthetic
Tell
gorillas.
me more about those synth gorillas.
On the whole, I'd say they were a success. Their behavior does generally match what our historical data says it should be. Unfortunately,
I didn't get
we
the
had a few
idiot
early
savant
setbacks.
trigger for the
creatures can
quest.
become suddenly aggressive, and they're quite strong. They destroyed 2 of their synth handlers. So now we keep them in an isolated habitat where they can be safely observed.
Dr. Holdren.
Anything I can help you with?
Medical
You
care.
mentioned medical care. I might need that from time to time.
In that case, you'll want to introduce yourself to Dr. Dean Volkert. He's our top biologist and also serves as the Institute's resident physician. Dr. Volkert works in the infirmary. Just pay him a visit whenever you need to. You won't find better medical care anywhere else in the Commonwealth. I'll promise you that.
Clayton.
Good to see you again. Did you need
Have more questions. Stop going off
Is
on
there
me.
anything I can do to help out?
I think Dr. Carlin was looking for help with one of his experiments. You should talk to him.
Okay, Carlin. Carlin.
I'm sorry,
You're
but I'm too
Carlin?
preoccupied for chit-chat.
Hi, Doc.
Well, if it isn't our visitor from the past. Some time ago, we covertly replaced the family patriarch at Warwick Homestead with a synth. He's been field testing a variety of genetically modified seeds that I created. Take this packet of seeds to the Roger Warwick synth. Be careful with these. They represent years of genetic manipulation and enhancement. Hopefully you can manage such a simple task.
Seeds for what?
A melon plant that will, if my calculations are correct, be able to grow even in heavily irradiated soil. The fruit it bears will be perfectly healthy and edible. Or so I hope. Now listen closely, because this next part is vitally important. When Roger asks how your trip was, tell him some blood bugs chased you halfway across the Commonwealth. That code phrase will identify you as an agent of the Institute. Also, you must be discreet. Do nothing to draw attention to yourself or raise suspicion.
And
I understand.
Now hurry on to Warwick Homestead so we can begin the experiment.
build a better crop. I mean crop.